Jerusalem had fallen. The Crusaders believed the Muslim world would never recover. Kingdoms were divided. Leaders were weak. And chaos spread across the Middle East. But from the deserts of the Islamic world, a warrior emerged. A man whose name would terrify armies and earn the respect of even his enemies. His name was Salahuddin Ayyubi. Born in 1137 in Tikrit, in present-day Iraq, Salahuddin came from a Kurdish Muslim family during one of the darkest periods in Islamic history. At the time, the Crusaders controlled Jerusalem, one of the holiest cities in the world. Muslim lands were divided by politics, greed, and power struggles. No united army existed. No strong leadership remained. As a young man, Salahuddin studied religion, politics, and military strategy. He was intelligent, disciplined, and deeply devoted to his faith. At first, nobody imagined he would one day become one of the greatest leaders in history. Salahuddin began his military career under the powerful Muslim ruler, Nur ad-Din. Through patience and loyalty, he slowly rose through the ranks. Then came the mission that changed everything. Egypt. At the time, Egypt was unstable and politically weak. Salahuddin entered the region as a military commander, but quickly proved himself far more capable than anyone expected. He rebuilt the government, strengthened the army, and restored stability across the region. Soon, Salahuddin became the Sultan of Egypt. But his true goal was much larger. He wanted to unite the Muslim world. For years, the Crusaders had taken advantage of division among Muslim rulers. Salahuddin understood one thing clearly. If the Islamic world remained divided, Jerusalem would never be free again. Slowly, kingdom by kingdom, city by city, he united Muslim territories under one banner. And for the first time in decades, the Crusaders became afraid. Tension between the two sides continued to grow. Then, in 1187, everything changed. The Battle of Hattin, one of the most important battles in history. Salahuddin carefully planned the battle for months. The Crusader army marched across dry land under the burning desert sun. Water became scarce. Exhaustion spread through their forces. And then, Salahuddin attacked. The Muslim army surrounded the Crusaders from every direction. Arrows filled the sky. Smoke covered the battlefield. Chaos consumed the Crusader army. The Crusaders were completely defeated. Thousands were captured. And the road to Jerusalem was finally open. News of the victory spread rapidly across the Islamic world. For Muslims, it was more than a military victory. It was hope returning after decades of defeat. Soon after the Battle of Hattin, Salahuddin marched toward Jerusalem, the city that had been lost for nearly 90 years. The city that generations had dreamed of reclaiming. Fear spread inside Jerusalem. Many expected revenge, massacre, bloodshed. Because when the Crusaders captured Jerusalem decades earlier, they had slaughtered thousands of innocent people. But Salahuddin chose a different path. After reclaiming the city, he showed mercy. Civilians were protected. Prisoners were spared. Families were allowed to leave safely. Even many of his enemies were shocked by his compassion. Salahuddin proved that true strength was not only found in war, but also in mercy. His reputation spread far beyond the Muslim world. Even European historians and Crusader leaders respected him. To his followers, he became a symbol of courage, justice, and honor. To his enemies, he became the warrior they could never defeat. Years later, Salahuddin became ill, and in 1193, the legendary Sultan died. But despite ruling vast territories, he left behind very little personal wealth. Most of his riches had been given to the poor. What remained was not an empire of gold, but a legacy that would survive for centuries. Today, Salahuddin Ayyubi is remembered as one of the greatest military leaders in history. A man who united divided nations, defeated powerful armies, and reclaimed Jerusalem. But perhaps his greatest victory was earning respect from both friend and enemy alike. Because legends are not remembered only for the wars they win, but for the values they leave behind.